talk about how to be a great leader even when things go wrong. So today I'm going to give you the #1 key to being successful in a time of change and uncertainty. Because we all know we've been in those times before, and we are facing a lot of uncertainty, as well as a speeding up of how quickly things change in our current day-to-day lives. So before I get into that, I just wanted to let you know I'm looking for 5 women in leadership who want to transform their leadership mindset and embrace their personal power within the next 30 days. If that's you, DM me leader, and you'll get the details with me, as well as grab a 30-minute strategy session with me where we can go really deep and create a personalized strategy just for you and your situation. Okay, so let's dive into how you can be a great leader even when things are going wrong. Because if you're anything like me, this has happened before. You might have found, I've got everything lined up and figured out what I need to do in terms of my career, in terms of my life, or even just to reach your next quarterly KPI. And then all of a sudden a curveball comes in and you're like, I didn't see that coming. And now it affects your results or the decisions or choices that are available to you. So when this happens, a couple of the common mistakes that I see that women leaders are making are number one, they double down on working harder and longer. So because you're determined to still reach the outcome or achieve that outcome, you start working before anyone else, even online, or you're in the office before anyone gets there, and you're almost like the last one leaving late into the evening. Still answering emails, getting reports done, doing some follow-up, because you have determined that if I can only work a little bit harder, a little bit longer, I'm still going to be able to achieve that result. The second mistake that I often see is that you get stuck in analysis paralysis. So as you evaluate and assess each situation, and you're looking at it from every single different angle, you're delaying taking any actions or making a decision because you want to guarantee that 100% that it'll work. And this only gets worse, especially when times are challenging or they're changing too quickly, because you think, well, I don't have all of the analysis or all the data I need to make a decision. So you decide to keep analyzing, and then you're stuck. You're not moving anywhere. Now, the third mistake that I often see is you end up micromanaging your team. So this is especially if you have a level of control, which I must admit a lot of leaders do, because that has also been what has made you successful up until this point. Except now it's going to start working against you, because here you are, you're micromanaging your team by checking in on every action that they're taking, making sure that they're doing the work and they're doing it when it needs to get done, and they're doing it how you think it needs to get done. You're getting them to run by every single decision or action by you first to ensure that they are on the right track. If this sounds familiar, please drop a heart or a comment or an emoji below. And even if it doesn't sound familiar for you, but if you recognize someone else in this, then please make sure to share this video as well with them. Now, what happens if you're making these 3 mistakes? And if you're making one or more of these 3 mistakes, then you're also what I call an overstretched leader. And what those overstretched leaders, if that's you, this is often leading to you more exhaustion and overwork because you're doubling down on working harder. You often experience more symptoms, or even possibly have already experienced burnout and a significant drain on your physical and mental energy, which causes a lot more fatigue as well as a decreased overall well-being. So guess what? You have now decided to work even harder, you're doing even more, and you're ending up with less energy. And what ends up happening is you're actually going to make even less decisions, or even worse decisions, than if you had simply adjusted what I'm going to share with you, my #1 key to actually being able to manage change. The second, you're going to miss opportunities because you're stuck in that analysis paralysis. You're going to avoid making timely decisions and take advantage of potential opportunities that come by, because you won't even see them. You'll be so focused on making sure that what you've got in front of you is the absolute best and the right decision and the right action to take, that you'll actually miss any opportunities that come up spontaneously or develop as the market develops, etc. And because you're micromanaging, you're actually hindering your team performance. So you're limiting their autonomy, and it really inhibits their ability to thrive, as well as it creates a sense of distrust, and it doesn't allow them to help you problem solve. So when you're experiencing this, you've kind of created a vicious circle for yourself, this leadership drain circle, which is you've found, oh, I've got a challenge that's coming up, I don't know how to deal with it, or my way of dealing with it is to take more control, is to work even harder, is to start analyzing everything to make sure I can do it right. And what ends up happening is you are less capable as a leader. You are missing out on opportunities that could really help you, as well as you're hindering your team performance. So that is a triple whammy that you're creating. It's like this perfect storm. You're creating your own downfall. So let's talk about what all leaders do that do successfully navigate setbacks and change. Now, the number one key, that's why I promised I was going to share this with you today, the number one key thing that they have embraced in being successful in times of change and challenge is having the right mindset. Now, can you find me anyone who was successful who didn't have that right mindset? Because I can bet you I haven't found it yet. So if you do, please let me know, but likely no. So let's talk about how to get the right mindset, and not in the sense of, because I know we throw around mindset a lot, and maybe you have experienced that as well. So I just want to give you some tangible ways of actually making sure that you can get that powerful leadership mindset that you want to do. And there are several steps to this that I help my clients work through in creating their own powerful leadership mindset within the Leadership Edge formula. I'm only going to give you the first step today, because really I don't want to overwhelm you. And with this first step, you can already create a powerful shift for yourself, which is going to help you in beginning to take a different action than you normally would. So let's get into that first step. The first step has to do with uncovering your belief system, which is one of several key components of the power alignment pillar within my Leadership Edge formula. Now, if you want to get an extra help or an extra strategy on it, I'm going to plug in here quickly. I have a free resource. So if you're interested in that, then DM me Leadership Mindset, and I will get you that free resource. I'll send it to you. So if that's you, then DM me Leadership Mindset, and I'll get you a free resource that's going to take you through a number of additional steps beyond this first step. And it's really going to be powerful in creating that mindset shift that you can use to powerfully show up as a leader today. So getting into this first step, the key is really to uncover the beliefs that are driving your actions that you're taking, or even a lack of action that you're taking. So consider some of the beliefs that I've had with clients as we've worked through. So they were micromanaging their teams, for example. One of the beliefs that they were holding is, I have to do it all by myself. And often coupled with that is, I have to do it perfectly. So in a time when things are challenging or changing really quickly, those one or even both of those beliefs are really going to drive the actions and decisions you're going to make. If you believe that you have to do it all by yourself, you're going to have a really hard time delegating the work to your team or seeking any other support. And it also means you're likely going to be pulling more of the work that your team is doing to you, or double checking, triple checking with them to make sure they're doing it right. Now, on the other side, that kind of you might have that partner belief as well as, I need to be perfect. That is going to drive even more of that control sense of, like, I'm going to make sure that every single detail is known, every single possible risk I have identified, which is going to get you in that analysis paralysis. So those are two examples of beliefs that are driving different actions. And you may not even be aware of them, because, like I said, for a lot of high achievers and a lot of women that I've worked with, they have become very successful in their career by their ability to manage the details, by their ability to control a lot of the aspects that needed to be controlled. And yet now, in this time of change, in this time of challenge, it's become an obstacle to them, and you may not be aware of it. And you're like, well, why is what I've always done in the past that now all of a sudden isn't working anymore. And this has everything to do with you're at a different level and you need to change and adjust in order to embrace that new level of leadership so that you can be a powerful leader. Because I know you have it in you. Other beliefs you might have that are really driving your actions is I don't deserve to be in this leadership position, which is going to undermine your self-confidence. It's going to drive, if you're feeling a little bit of self-doubt in terms of imposter syndrome, it's only going to drive that even stronger. So when it comes to navigating change or a difficult situation with assertiveness or resilience, you back off because you don't even feel like you deserve to be there. Now, if this sounds familiar, then where I want you to start with, again, the first step is examining what are the beliefs that are driving your behavior and driving your action. And that is really asking yourself, okay, for example, I have been really asking for continuous feedback from my team. Okay, why are you doing that? What is it that you believe it's going to give you if you get your team to constantly give you feedback, run things by you? Now, one of those things, as you're looking into that, like, okay, well, because I need to get it just right. Aha. If you need to get it just right, what are you believing about yourself in that moment in time? And that starts to uncover those layers of your beliefs that are driving all of your actions. Now, I want you to hold on to this for a second because unconscious beliefs, and the reason I call them unconscious is because they're often below the surface. You aren't aware of them, and you're simply going, I'm doing the very best that I can. I am showing up, I'm doing the work, I am putting in the hours, I have got all of my education, and I'm taking new courses. So I'm doing all the great actions, and logically and rationally I can rationalize out what needs to be done, and yet something isn't working because somehow I'm still not taking that action. Well, that's where that unconscious belief, and those are a couple I just gave you to identify that you may have, is that they can actually impact your ability to navigate change and cope with difficult situations. So we need to dig into more of the core of who you are to understand those beliefs and how they're acting. Once you become aware of those beliefs and working to challenge them and reframe them, you are able to cultivate a more powerful and empowering mindset and develop the resilience and adaptability that you need to thrive in any situation. Because let's be honest, we need you to be thriving and we need you to be leading in any type of circumstance. Because as a leader, you're not made when things are easy, but leaders are made and created when things are difficult. And you want to be reaching out and giving a hand to your team and pulling them up rather than using that hand to push them down and push yourself down in being smaller because you don't know how to deal with change and you don't know how to deal with challenge. Now, for example, I just want to give you a bit of an idea of what that would look like, right? So think about yourself if you're trying to navigate through a really dense fog without any sense of direction or clarity. That can really be daunting, right? So similarly at this moment in time, when you're operating without any awareness of the underlying beliefs that you're holding, it can really make it difficult for you and those around you to navigate change and challenges effectively. So when you uncover your beliefs, it begins to act as a compass, providing you with the clarity and guidance that is needed to navigate through that fog. All right, this is a really great point where I just want to leave it at that today. So uncover those underlying beliefs, those unconscious beliefs that are really driving all of the actions and decisions that you're making. I just wanted to leave it here for a minute. Today, we've only just scratched the surface, right? I've only just addressed one of several key components and steps within the Leadership Edge formula. And this is within my power alignment pillar. So there's lots more to explore. So I want to invite you to join me in a deep dive in creating a more powerful mindset and developing the leadership presence that you desire from the inside out. So I'm looking for 5 women in leadership who want to transform their leadership mindset and embrace their personal power in the next 30 days. DM me leader for details and to grab a 30-minute strategy session with me. I'd love to hear from you. Drop any of your questions, as always, either in the comments or DM me with your questions, and let's have a conversation because I'm here to empower you, to lift you up, and to create and help you be the leader that you desire to be. All right. Wishing you a great day.